10 people have been charged in the shooting of a police officer at an ICE facility in Texas on July 4th. Each of those individuals faces 3 counts of attempted murder of federal agents, as well as 3 counts of discharging a firearm in relation to a crime of violence. An Alvarado, Texas officer was responding after graffiti was sprayed on vehicles in a guard structure at the facility when someone shot the officer in the neck. The officer was treated at a Fort Worth hospital, but has since been released. This is the second targeted shooting at a Texas DHS facility in 4 days, following yesterday's in McAllen, just miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. Police say a man ambushed a Border Patrol facility, firing dozens of rounds toward federal agents. Law enforcement returned fire, killing the attacker. 3 officers were hurt during that exchange. And CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga joins us now from our Washington bureau. Nicole, what do we know about the 10 people who were charged here?
Yeah, Nancy, these 10 defendants, they dressed in black military-style clothing and masks. They began shooting fireworks at that ICE detention facility in what the U.S. attorney is saying was an organized attack. U.S. Attorney Nancy Larson calling this an ambush on federal and local law enforcement officers, part of an increasing trend of violence against law enforcement. She said in a statement, quote, "Make no mistake, this was not a peaceful protest." Now, 10 minutes after that group first gathered, some of the defendants broke off from that main group and they began spraying graffiti on police vehicles and on a guard structure in the parking lot at that ICE facility. Investigators found messages reading, "Fight ICE terror with class war, free all political prisoners, resist fascism." But when an Alvarado police officer showed up at the scene, that officer was shot in the neck by one of the defendants here. Another across the street fired 20 to 30 rounds at an unarmed correctional officer who had stepped outside of the ICE detention facility. Multiple AR-style rifles were found at the scene. Police also pulling 12 sets of body armor out of the cars of these suspects. And when the suspects were ultimately stopped, many were wearing tactical gear and had 2-way radios on them. One of the alleged attackers even had their cell phone inside what's called a Faraday bag. That's a device used to block phone signals, Nancy.
And Nicole, I want to turn now to a, quote, unknown actor who's been accused of using artificial intelligence to impersonate Secretary of State Marco Rubio. What do we know about this, including who that person talked to?
Yeah, according to a State Department cable obtained by my colleague Sarah Cook, the account was created in mid-June of 2025 with the display name marco.rubio@state.gov. So it looked normal. The individual contacted 3 foreign ministers, a U.S. governor, and a U.S. member of Congress, even leaving voicemails on Signal for at least 2 targeted individuals. The State Department cable also noted the alleged imposter likely aimed to manipulate targeted individuals using these AI-generated text and voice messages. The goal here really to gain access to information or accounts. Now, in a statement, the State Department said it is aware of this incident and it is currently investigating this matter.
All right, Nicole Sganga, thank you very much.
Thank you.